And here we go.
In 5, 4, 3.
Call to me, lands far away.
Elves have forests to protect.
We need to build a wall.
Dwarfs their mines. Men their fields of grain. But we Harfoots have each other.
For I must now wander this wandering day.
We're safe.
You have fought long enough, Galadriel.
No.
Put up your sword.
The enemy is still out there. The question now is where?
It is over.
Nothing is over! Nothing! You were the chosen one! It was said that you would destroy the Sith, not join them!
If you only knew the power of the dark side.
Darkness will march over the face of the earth. It will be the end, not just of our people, but all peoples.
Everyone! I am sorry, but their time has come.
The past is with us all. The past is dead. We either move forward or we die with it.
This could be the beginning of a new era.
Away I must wander this wandering day.
To him finally being lionized in the prime and his prime. Fuck.
Do it!
Shit.
Just do it! Don't let your dreams change. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true!
Luke went from being... Oh, no. Welcome, Slayer Nation. I have some great news for you today. I hope you're all doing great. Nope, that didn't work. One more.
You have failed me for the last time.
Welcome, Slayer Nation. I hope...
If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up.
That is eating away at what you love in order for it to shine. And one man's vision is... Sometimes you don't have to make things better for them to be great again. You merely have to Okay. Hollywood continues to slow boil the culture and crazy. Well, right now, Spider-Man actor Andrew Garfield has stepped up and he's fighting motherfucker.
I can't do it. Okay. We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it.
And unbearded dwarves, but Prime didn't stop there. They stapled in intersectionality, individuality, biddiga-dig-bee, biddiga-dig-boo.
So it begins. At my signal, unleash hell.
gentlemen, George the Giant Slayer.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. What an amazing day. You know what day it is. It's Slayer Unchained time, and I'm your host, and this is 2025 in the year of our Lord. How are you doing? We got a lot of crazy news for you today. We got Elon Musk has been nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. You got Pocahontas poking around, RFK roaring. You got When Harry Met Sally moaning like they were newlyweds. And you got RFK, King of the Mods, is in the house. We also got Nick's W, Patrick Lamar, Toxic Walls. How you doing, Toxic? Justin plays guitar. Poopa Chalupa. Great to see you. Plus, we have rumors that a new Transformers movie is coming with Mr. Brownbag himself. Right now, it's just a rumor. The only thing to really look forward to lately is pretty much Disney's Daredevil Born Again. You got Disney also has a Captain America problem. So we're going to talk about all that. So you get feeling those flamethrowers so we can roast the stupid, talk about the facts, and have a little bit of fun. We'll bring them out here. We got Verbal Riot and Tom for Midnight's Edge and Midnight's Edge After Dark. How you doing, gentlemen?
Doing well, man. But I think my camera is catching the same virus that yours has, man. I had a bit of a problem hopping on today, but it looks like it's working for now. So
thank God. So I guess every time yours goes out, you have a drink. Every time mine goes out, I have a drink.
Well, I'm ready for it this time.
Okay, there you go. To you, my friend. We'll just slug one down, you know, getting ready. But it's great to see you. Great to see you. A lot of news to cover. But what I feel bad for, because we always cover North Carolina here, because we have a lot of people from Carolina. And a lot of
at least they're finally getting help now, you know?
They are, except something just came out. It was a little bit of bad news. They got a fire spreading. Fire's broken out and people are being told to evacuate. Yep. Yes, sir. It says from Matt Von Swell, who covers everything North Carolina. Where are you going? Absolutely terrifying aerial footage of the Crooked Creek fire in western North Carolina. Fire's at 69 acres and spreading out of control. Yeah, I feel really bad for them. So let's send all our love and prayers to the people of North Carolina. That's just that.
Yeah.
That's not good. It's like they've been double whammied in the last few months. And we got RFK coming in with 5 George the Giant Slayer memberships. Way to go. Thank you, my good friend. You don't have to do that, but you're always so supportive and the greatest smile ever. Everybody thank RFK. It means we're going to have more people this week for our member stream, which we're going to have. Last week, we had the remnants of the Arctic blast. That's why I couldn't do it on Saturday, because my internet was going up and down all day. It's like it would go for a little bit, then it would drop off and it would go. I'm like, you can't do a stream like that with members like, hey, how y'all doing? Oh, he's gone. Thank you, RFK. And the other thing we had, which I think is really exciting, where the hell did you go? Well, you were right here. We had news that it's pissed off the entire media right now. You heard about that verbal, what the White House said today? Beautiful news. Beautiful news.
Well, I mean, a lot of things have been said, so you got to be a little more specific.
I know there is. You know that there was a time when you could say, did you know what happened at the White House? And we could all pretty much agree that Biden probably fell asleep or stumbled or muttered something. But nope, not now. Now everything's going like a mile a minute. What you had was the White House came out and pissed off the entire mainstream media network. Here's why. It's beautiful.
The House believes strongly in the First Amendment, so it's why our team will work diligently to restore the press passes of the 440 journalists whose passes were wrongly revoked by the previous administration. We're also opening up this briefing room to new media voices who produce news-related content and whose outlet is not already represented by one of the seats in this room. We welcome independent journalists, podcasters, social media influencers, and content creators to apply for credentials to cover this White House. And you can apply now on our new website, whitehouse.gov/new media. That's
it. That's a beautiful thing.
Oh, yeah. And I'm sure it's going to piss off a lot of people on the left.
That's it. Absolutely, it will.
Which is crazy if you think about it, though, because there are, left-leaning political podcasters who should be happy about this.
They should be, but I signed up already.
This is
Slayer for the
Tom
briefing room.
at the correspondence from the White House. I'm going to tell you right now, the craft services here suck. They got nothing good. Nothing good. It's like Doritos and some bottled water. It sucks. But yeah, nothing's really happening. Yeah, president signed a bunch of executive orders, getting shit done. Just a lot of nonsense happening here. It's pretty boring. How are you guys over there?
We're doing great. We're doing great. So we got to get us in there. We got to get us in there.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Yeah, so I filled it out. Here it is, in case anybody wants it.
I almost wonder though, like, are guys like Rogan and those guys going to actually do it? Are they going to show up and?
Good question.
And cover it. You know what I mean?
I think Rogan can get in anytime he wants to. He's just one of, it's Rogan. But in case anybody wants to, you can go to the White House. So you just go over here. Let's see if and you just fill out all your information.
Oh, but what was really funny, because actually I did see this video right before I hopped on with you. I was watching because I watch The View every day just because I love to see them melt down. Oh, I have it. I have it. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, but when they were talking about this specific issue, yeah, and it's hilarious, man. It's like, and you can see it on their faces, man, that they don't want to say the words "they're irrelevant," but they know they're irrelevant. They didn't want to say it, but they know they are. By Trump doing this, he's pointing out how irrelevant the legacy media has been for the past, I don't know, 16 years maybe.
Yeah. God bless you, Dante. You nailed it. We got we're gonna show that right now. Mark of Reality is back. How you doing, Mark? I hope everything's going great for you. For $10. Trump has been in office for 8 days. Yes, the return of the MAGA king. 8. The crazies have been off the chain, including Acosta's exit from CNN. Yep, whoop, whoop. And Trump's reply tweet. Truth, which was amazing. It was. My favorite part so far, it's like saying, what's your favorite meal? But then you have to say, well, Italian, Greek, French, burgers. Like you have favorites from everything. I love the way that the president of Colombia was like, we are not going to take your people. He sent the planes back with the deportees. Trump comes out, no problem. Not a problem. It's going to be huge. 25% tariffs are going to be slapped on you starting Monday. The week after that, it's going to go up to 50. The week after that, we're going to pull your visas. And all of a sudden, lo and behold, it's like, well, wait, there's a little miscommunication in translation. I will send the presidential jet to pick them up.
Yeah, it's almost like somebody's in charge of the country now.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Because, I mean, God, if you really think about it, man, for the past 4 years, no one was steering the ship. And that's pretty scary. That's pretty scary to think about. No one's been steering the ship for 4 years.
Obama, quietly, well.
But for the most part, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, the shadow government. But I'm just saying, for the most part, we haven't had a real leader, man, in 4 years.
Right. But I will say this. A lot of people are saying that, Dante, where we haven't had this leadership. But if we really dig into it, when was the last time any president, Democrat, Republican, moved and executed at the speed of Trump? Like Reagan didn't even do that. Like no one moves as fast as he does. It's like he's like Muhammad Ali, George Foreman, and Frazier, all rolled into one. He just throws one punch after the next.
You know what? I'm gonna take a wild guess as to why. It's because he's not a politician.
Bingo.
Trump isn't a politician. That's why things are getting done.
Yep. And he's just, on one hand, I can see it as strategy. He's got a short amount of time. They always say that presidents have the first 100 days in office, and then, they start prepping to run for, they prep for the midterms and the next election, but he doesn't have a next one. But I was having this discussion with a good friend of mine the other night, and we were like, when you look at everything he's doing, the way that he's attacking all of our problems, this isn't just someone who's doing this for legacy. The second term is typically when they want to build their legacy. I feel and I believe that he's doing this to fundamentally fix America. It's not just, let me just put some window dressing on there, slap up a new coat of paint. Like he wants to fix things.
Well, because you have to understand, man, all of these politicians, this is their career, right? This is their career. They put in their work. They've made their little deals. And now everything is about their retirement, right? They have all their funding from their donors. They have all their payouts, from all these third-party people. So these people are just trying to protect their ass until they die, right? Trump doesn't have that motivation. He's trying to actually fix some things. So it's going to be wild to watch the pushback from certain people, because I think a lot of people, and we say this all the time, but I think a lot more people are going to get revealed this year. And I think it's going to make it that much harder for a Democrat to win probably for the next 15, 20 years.
Oh, did you see? Talking about winning, The Hill had an article over the weekend, which The Hill is notoriously famous for being rhino shilled, right? And I'll just give you I'll paraphrase some of the talking points. They basically said, Democrats, you don't have it as bad as you think you do. We believe come 2026, you're going to wipe the GOP out. You're going to take back the House. You're going to take back the Senate. They said, guess what? You're going to whoop J.D. Vance's ass in 2028. This is just a short-term victory, some just like a cultural milieu, just a wave and nothing more. That was their prognostication. They're like, this is just a blip, nothing more. Trump is a blip.
Well, I mean, look, they can. We've already established these people are liars, man. And at this point, they can't even help themselves, right? Like all of this false hope, all of this false hope, like they have this champion in the background waiting for 2020 or 2030 or whatever.
28, yeah.
They don't have anybody. They have nobody, man.
Newsom.
This is all hype.
Newsom. They got Newsom.
In the hood, we call this fronting.
Fronting. I like that.
They are fronting. It's like they don't have anybody.
So when they're afraid, they front, basically. They're like, yeah.
Of course,
like
that's all they have.
Puffing their chest.
Well, they have two things. They have fronting, and then they have being loud. Like being loud is going to make the case for them, right?
Gotcha.
Like they'll yell and scream and think that that's being effective.
I 100% agree. Nick the Greek for $2. Hail Trump. Daddy is back. Yes, he is, Nick. Yasu. And we got Mark of Reality back for another $20. The White House press pass was one of the things that they could point to pretend that they're better than everyone else. They were real journalists, and you weren't. Now they need to come to terms with reality. Beautifully said, Mark. It is. You had so many of these quote unquote journalists, like 300,000 European journalists quit Twitter last week. They were saying it's because of Musk. We have integrity. We will not comply. And so they quit. And I was like, okay. So I put up this little post. I was like, 300,000 NPCs who all think that they're the next Woodward and Bernstein, except they use Wikipedia.
Yeah.
To claim expertise.
And why does everybody think Woodward and Bernstein are so great? They wouldn't have gotten nothing had it wouldn't have been for Deep Throat.
You're right.
But
that's our benchmark.
They'd just be another Joe Schmo nobody still if it wasn't for that. Like they just happened to be somebody wanted to tell them something. Right place, right time. Yeah, like I don't get that. That to me has always been one that bugs me. And I'm not saying whatever, Watergate was a big deal, but now looking back at Watergate, it's like, are you kidding me?
Oh God, that's like
that
nothing.
thing was like piddly compared to what some of the shit they do now. Yeah.
Hell yeah. It's crazy. Sharks dentures for $5. 2016 debate. Hillary, Trump isn't a real politician. Me at home. Honey, I already hate you. You don't need to make me love you, Trump, too. I love it. Shark dentures.
But also, really quick, I feel like at this point, especially after that whole View thing and them talking about the media, right? And how podcasters aren't they have no credentials, they have no credibility to be in the White House media room, right? That it should be reserved for people who have degrees in journalism and all this other BS, and the legacy media should only be there.
Right.
There's this weird like romanticism, kind of like what Tom was just saying, in this weird way of like how they think in their minds they've been doing hard-hitting news for the past 20 or so years. When they haven't, they're in this weird delusion that this is like all the president's men, right? and they're doing this investigative journalism, and they're not going to stop till they get the truth. They haven't been doing that. They haven't been doing that for probably since the 80s, man.
I would say after Desert Storm is when it stopped.
The only ones who have are dead.
Yes, exactly.
Pretty much. Well,
so this romanticism of the hard hitting, journalists that is long gone.
Bygone there. Yeah, I mean, when was you remember? I think when news went 24 hours, if I'm correct, it was with Desert Storm. Remember when they were showing Schwarzkopf and Wolf Blitzer were here at the the general was about to speak. That's when, to me, news went 24 hours, and then it slowly started to die.
Because the 24-hour news cycle was a big problem. Yeah,
it was because you didn't have news that they wanted to share 24 hours a day. They just kept repeating the same thing over and over.
Well, not only that, they sensationalized everything, and that's where Anchorman 2, I'm not a big fan of the sequel. It's okay, but it actually hits on that part of, like, that is accurate. Like, as soon as 24 hours a day news cycle happened, like CNN and all that crap, stuff like high-speed chases and any other thing that you can sensationalize became whatever it was that they could talk about, because they had to fill so much space. And it slowly became not just like sensationalized tabloid stuff. It got to the point where, like, bring us up to the modern day where it's literally like, the air is going to kill you. If you don't put a diaper on your face, the air will kill you. Like that, the scare bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what it got to, that point where it's just this hyperbolic news cycle that is just constantly beating you down with, the world is horrible, you're gonna die, and like
Ted Turner coming out
and we saw that back with 9/11, right? It's like it got to the point. It got to the point where it was all like every other day was okay. We're at code orange today. We're at code yellow. It's
and
like
it made
they
people
had
stay in their house and shit. Verbal, like, you're 100% correct. Like, people were deathly afraid of everything. It's like, oh my god, we're at code whatever this week. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Code orange.
Everybody was freaking out over orange. It's like, what the hell does that even mean?
No one even knew what it meant.
I know.
I had no idea what it even meant. But code orange was a scary one.
Right.
Yeah, and it was constant. You remember the airspace was shut down. They're like, where was Bush at that moment?
It means we could be attacked at any moment, at any time, at any place.
Right, basically.
So you mean every other fucking day of the week?
Yeah.
All that's changed. I think that's the great thing. And I want to share what Dante was talking about a second ago, The View. The View flipped out. And I think this is just the beginning. I think we're going to start seeing this all across the networks, at least the ones that are stupid, which is most of them. They went apeshit.
House complex.
All right. What'd she say?
She basically said that they were going to get
God,
unqualified.
how boring.
Unqualified
Can they get
people,
somebody there
jobs.
not so
Behind the
tedious?
Table podcast needs to apply for White House credentials.
Oh, they'd love having Joy in that room.
So
I got a question.
So wait a second. So in other words, instead of Bob Woodward, they want Kim Kardashian? What? I don't get it.
Wait, okay.
I have a question, which is why I was leading us in this direction.
Oh.
Yeah. I would like this young lady this is her first job. I would like her to do a little homework because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off.
Oh, I just pause it for a second so we don't get hit by YouTube. Right. This is where Whoopi calls the White House woke.
And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you, because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
Yeah.
Because women were not invited to that table. Women were not invited to many tables in this nation. The reason we fought and busted our behinds to make sure that you didn't have to worry about this. And now to hear you talk about it and to hear anybody talk about the wokeness.
I'm so sick of this. Can you pause this a second?
Yeah.
This idea that women are like new to politics. Fuck you. You've been a part of politics now since you've been able to vote.
Yeah, this is
what the hell is this bullshit?
Because they don't
Hillary
have anything
Clinton
else.
just showed up yesterday.
Yeah, they don't have anything else to rant about, Tom. I mean, think about it. They're going back to wokeness. They're trying to rebrand wokeness. We're going to see this continue to go forward. Wokeness was this great thing. Why is everybody attacking?
Well, if there's more to that, I'd love to see it. I didn't know.
No, we have more. We do have more.
In place for a reason. Because Black people couldn't get into colleges. Because women could not get into the colleges they wanted to go to. This is all women.
Whoopee.
See, this
when was that?
60, 70 fucking years ago.
Right when she was born? Come on. Yeah, it's insane.
Sorry. Not
This is
sorry,
not
but
black, Asian women. This is all women. Women were not invited to this party. It was a man's world, and we busted our asses to make sure that this was a person's world.
Yeah, but
Whoopi
you know
is
what
so
they
full
did?
of
You know what
shit.
they did then? Here's the thing that she never wants to talk about and accept responsibility for. You had the suffragettes make sure that women can never be second-class citizens. They fought, they bled, they starved, they marched, they protested. They got the right to vote. Then their daughters and their daughters' daughters turned it around and gave it all away so men could make the best women.
You're not wrong. It's more like your daughter's daughter's daughters at this point. That's what I was trying to say with Whoopi.
But think about it. Why isn't she talking about that? I understand that woke originally, and correct me now if I'm wrong about that. Woke originally was supposed to be about equality 50 years ago. It was for
Here's the thing. They don't have any, they have no ground to step on, man. Like they can't sit here and preach all this bullshit about, you know, the first woman did this and feminism when they can't even define what a woman is. Like they've lost all credibility for that. They have no argument anymore because in their minds, a man in a dress, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not going to sit here and pretend that Whoopi at some point in her life hasn't faced some sort of racism or sexism. I'm not going to deny that to her, right?
For sure. I mean, she's a woman of age.
Never,
I mean,
yeah, but never at the level that she's trying to pretend that it still exists. And she is one of the most, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like,
she's an ERCOT winner, isn't she too? I mean, she's no longer she's
one of the most privileged women out there. She's been out there doing this shit.
She's been rich since the 80s.
Exactly. And nobody told her to shut up in the 80s. They let her just go on. And didn't she have like a whole fucking bit about women farting and shit like that? I mean, like, come on, give me a break, Whoopi. I mean, that's where she got her fucking name. For those who don't know, Whoopi Goldberg is not her real fucking name. It's Karen something or other.
It's kind of like the equivalent of like when Jennifer Lopez tries to pretend she's still from the hood. She's from the streets. It's like, J-Lo, stop.
That's how long ago?
Karen Johnson,
you haven't been that girl at least since the 80s.
Right.
She wanted a Jewish name, and her name means fucking not sex, but because she used to fucking fart all the time. Like a whoopee cushion.
Jesus.
Sorry.
Exactly. I mean, J-Lo has been wearing, I mean, she did an interview last year where she was talking about her $10,000 Hermes panties. I mean, again,
right,
she
but she tries to come off like she's, you know, still that girl who was, you know, eating macaroni and cheese every night from the box. And it's like, come on.
She did that during the Cackles rallies, crying. Remember her crying? I know what it is to be you. I understand. I am you. I'm one of you.
Fuck out of here.
Really, how many people in that audience had a $10,000 pair of panties? Come on, get real. But there is something really funny and really good. I was talking earlier in the intro about When Harry Met Sally. Now, last week I mentioned this and I got it wrong. I said there was supposed to be a sequel to When Harry Met Sally. I keep hearing those rumors, but I haven't confirmed them yet. The one thing that is true is that they did a Super Bowl ad. I think just for a moment, this is going to be fun. For anyone who remembers the original, this is it.
I can't believe they let us back in.
We're
this
starting to
place.
get the ads already?
Hello.
Nobody remembers that.
Something wrong?
It's not doing it.
No good?
Nothing.
Well, we can't have that.
Yeah.
What's happening? Here we go. Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Oh boy.
So good. It's just woo.
Oh. This one's real.
Yes.
Lunch and a show, huh? How about that?
Now that is a sandwich. I'll have what she's having.
I'm competing with a condiment.
I love that. I just love it.
I wish I liked her more, but like there's more plastic in her face now than there is in that bottle.
I know, but I like Sydney Sweeney, and I like
at least for me.
Sydney Sweeney, is that who that was?
Yeah, that was Sweeney who did that. She replaced, what was her name? Ellen
I didn't
Sweeney.
notice that part. I kind of recognized her at first, but I didn't really.
Meg Ryan is you know, I will say this. At least she's not problematic, right? Like she's been just pretty quiet, aging slowly, you know.
Meg Ryan?
In her own
that's
world.
because she got canceled for stealing what's her Face's husband or whatever. Yeah.
Well, you know, I mean, hey, but you know what though? At least at this point, at least she's been quiet. At least she hasn't been one of these vocal idiots. That I'll give her that much credit. See, here's the thing: the bar is so low now. That's all it takes. It's just to shut up. That's how low the bar is.
I will say I miss Billy Crystal.
I do miss Billy Crystal. I don't know what happened.
He doesn't do enough. He just doesn't do it. I don't know what he. Yeah, he just. I don't know if he's like semi-retired or what. He just hasn't. Really...
I think he might be retired, man. It's kind of like a lot of those guys. Like for a while, like Rick Moranis wasn't doing any work.
Well, that was because he was taking care of his kids. Like his wife died sadly of cancer.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
He quit the industry and he did a bunch of movies real quick. That's why he did all those crappy movies real fast.
He needed money.
He needed the money, and then he just pieced out up to Canada, took care of his kids, and now that his kids are all grown, he's talked about getting back in the industry.
Good.
But yeah, no, like you're right. Like Billy Crystal I haven't seen. I know Gene Hackman obviously retired, but I mean a lot of these guys it's just like you don't see him around doing anything anymore.
Well, even Steve Martin was gone for like a little while.
For a bit there, yeah, but now
he came back, but he was gone for like a little while.
So. Isn't he doing planes, trains, and automobiles with what's his name? They're doing the reboot.
Remake?
The remake with it's not The Rock, it's the other guy. I just read it the other day. I'll find it.
I heard something about there was some kind of remake. Was it The Rock? I know it was Chris Hart, I think was one of the people that was.
I'll look it up. Maybe you can find. I'm gonna read these. Yeah, because I read it and I was like, we don't need to remake this. It's fine. Just leave it the hell alone. Jimmy Eats Movies member for 2 months. Ted even done blackface. For Whoopi. Yeah, I know.
Dancing with blackface.
Will Smith and Kevin Hart are supposedly in
Will Smith. That's what it is. Yeah. And then we got Garfield's Bizarre Adventure. How you doing, Garfield? Always loved you as a cat. Still have your books from when I was a kid. For $5. Hail George, Tom, and Verbal Riot. Hey, Verbal, you mentioned previously that Prince had strict rules about eye contact. Did anyone ever get in trouble?
I mean, not to my knowledge. I mean, for the most part, I mean, it was pretty chill. We all knew the rules. So
Did he ever make you pancakes?
Unfortunately, no. No, I never got to see him play ball, and never had any pancakes.
Did you ever hear him play? Like, did he ever play?
Oh yeah, I got to perform. Yeah.
Oh really?
Because, like I said, he would have these weird after hours where he would invite like 3,000 women, and then we'd be there too. So
not a bad gig, not a bad gig. But talking about an actress who won't shut up. She's waiting to put a bunny rabbit in the
Lord,
pot.
she's still alive?
Yep.
I'm a big reader of history. And, I mean, unfortunately, I think not enough people in this country understand the history and what we've just gotten ourselves into.
Is it just
That's
me or is she
very
becoming
dangerous.
like gender
On
swapped?
top of that is
Abraham
AI.
Lincoln?
What is going to be truth? What is true is going to be a big question.
Sorry, you have to back it up.
And I think my first feeling was cling to family, cling to your community, and try to do work that will add positively to the human experience, not detract from it, because there's so much divisive stuff.
She's pissed off, obviously, because of Trump. Lady Gaga had also put out, she did this spread for Elle, or she was explaining how she loves being Lady Gaga. And she took her shots at Trump, of course, that she prayed for him to lose and lose and lose. And he didn't lose, but so she's praying for everything to go wrong, which she doesn't seem to understand that you always want to pray for a president to do good. I mean, I never prayed for Biden to do bad because that impacts all of us. Even Trump would say once Biden wins in office, he prays.
This is why we say they're a cult, man, because that's what they are. They're a cult. They don't. Here's the thing, George. They don't care about America.
Right.
They don't give a shit about America. In fact, most of them hate America.
Yeah,
right.
That's the sad part.
But they love their cult. So
this is why I don't believe the whole non-apology out of, and I'm sure we'll get into this in a bit here, but the Anthony Mackie bit. Yeah, I clearly think he meant to throw America under the bus. Because you're right, Purple. They flat out hate America, and I was reminded this morning where a lot of this started. It started during the Bush years, is when a lot of it started. Yeah. So and it
started with Bill Maher actually calling him a Yahtzee 24/7.
Yeah, and just this idea that we would go out and be embarrassed to be from America. Like they were talking this morning, like all the guys on the panel were talking about how they'd have friends who would, when they'd travel abroad, would you know, hide the fact that they're from America. They'd lie and say they're from Canada and shit like that. Yeah.
It's nuts. But here is what, if y'all haven't heard, everybody in the audience, which always love y'all being here. If you haven't heard, you had Anthony Mackie was talking about his upcoming movie, you know, Captain America, Brave New World. And he had a few words to say about Captain America. I'll let you hear it before we talk about it, for those who don't know.
For me, Captain America represents a lot of different things, and I don't think the term, you know, America should be one of those representations. Like, it's about a man who keeps his word, who has honor, dignity, and integrity, someone who is trustworthy and dependable. You know, it's kind of, this is kind of like an aspect of a dream coming true. You know, when I was a kid, you know, all of us as actors, I believe, want to get back to that day before someone told you no. When you look out your door and you see a 5-year-old kid with a stick and he's slaying dragons to save the princess in the tower, that kid really believes there are dragons out.
Okay, that's pretty much it. We don't need to hear anymore. Here's my problem. I hated what he said, but this caught me off guard. It did. I've looked at Anthony Mackie for years in all his interviews that he did when he started, what was it, phase 2, from phase 2 and on. They were great. He was jovial. He was kind. He was pro. He didn't say anything woke. He didn't crap on a film. He didn't shit on America. It was just you're like a very classy guy. And all of a sudden,
you know what, man? Honestly, I've been looking at this over and over. I think he just misspoke. Because I've seen Mackie in other interviews, and he is pretty based in a lot of things. He says. Like, I mean, pretty based. And so I think he might have misspoke, or at least didn't say it in the way he wanted to say it. Like, I think what he was trying to say was like, you know, yeah, maybe these are American values, but they should be world values. Everyone should have these values, but it came out the way it came out. I'm giving him a little bit more grace on this because here's the thing. I think the movie's going to be shit, regardless of what he said. The movie's going to be shit. But I think he himself, I think he misspoke, and now it's kind of like it caught fire, you know?
I was kind of in the same place you were until I saw his non-apology.
I haven't seen it. Do you have
it? Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I fixed the clip to begin with. If you want to share that, and then I'll show the apology. See, because this is my version.
A little while ago, but now is when his comments went viral. So now is when this latest PR disaster struck, even closer to the movie's opening. What is it that he said? Well, it was this.
For me, Captain America represents a lot of different things, and I don't think the term, you know, America should be one of those representations.
It represents America.
It's about.
Are you really retarded?
that was what I did. But
it's simple. It represents America. It's all the best of America.
It's in the title. It's like, yeah.
It's so here's Captain Soy America. It's America. America.
So what he did here was this is on his Instagram, but it's not on his Instagram feed or whatever the fuck you call it. You got to click on his picture to get this, and it only pops up for a few seconds. So he says, and this was his response to this whole thing. Let me be clear about this. I'm a proud American, and taking on the shield of the hero like Cap is the honor of a lifetime. I have the utmost respect for those who served our country. Cap has universal characteristics that all people all over the world can relate to, which he kind of is saying, but he didn't come around and say like which the best, represents the best of America, right? Like that's the thing, is that he's still throwing America itself under the bus through this whole thing. And I think that goes back to what we were just talking about this thing in the bubble where they are just still so anti-American, right? Like this idea that you just can't be pro-American in any way, shape, or form, and how nobody in the world can relate to that. Because even Andre will talk about how, you know, Captain America, the first film, when that movie came out outside of the US, he was a joke, but that movie showed the rest of the world the type of character who he was, and they fell in love with him. Even in areas where they hate America, they love Captain America from that movie. So now, like, to me, I think he's missing the whole point here, but that's just my take on it.
I agree completely.
No, I agree, but the thing is
supremacy. It's America.
Right. I think the context here is he was speaking to like a foreign, foreign group, foreign media whatever. I think what he was trying to do was trying to sell the movie without.
Right, but would you say? I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you.
Again, and I'm not trying to justify what he said. I'm just saying, I being in Hollywood, I get what you have to do when you're trying to promote a movie, and he's overseas trying to promote it, right? Not everyone looks at America the same way, and maybe he was trying to sell the film by saying, hey, you know, this is a guy with a lot of good values that aren't necessarily just American per se. And he was trying to sell this to a foreign market. So I mean, there's a lot of things in play where I'm like, you know, you said everything the wrong way, man. You should not have said that. But I don't think he said it with the intention of, you know, I hate America and I don't, you know, I don't like what it stands for. I don't think that's where he was.
Okay, I'll put it to you this way. I hear what you're saying, but imagine you are promoting Black Panther, and somehow you go to China, because we know China. What they do to all the films is have black leads. Look at Captain America: Brave New World, the posters in China. They've turned him around. Have you seen those posters?
Oh, yeah. I mean, even his poster, like they're not even really showing his face on the posters in China.
Because CCP, we know they're racist, period. End of statement.
Yeah.
Now, imagine you are promoting Black Panther. You don't, I think this is, again, one of the problems. Let us say for a moment that Anthony Mackie did not do it purposely. He was simply pandering, trying to sell a film. When I mean pandering, talking to his audience, like, they may not all love America like I do, but I want to make sure. That right there, though, is a problem. When you are not able to stand up anywhere in the world and go, this is what I believe in. I don't care if it's about America, your home. You're not going to put it down even in the slightest way because it's what you believe. A person knows that's your character. Would you say, well, Black Panther, he really doesn't represent Africa. It's not really a Wakanda. He represents Russians.
Well, no, George,
it doesn't make sense.
I get what you're saying, and that's why I don't work for Disney, right? Yeah. Like, even if I were an actor, even if they offered me a part, I most likely would turn it down, right? Just because my career would probably be over right after the movie ended. but no, I get what you're saying. The problem with Hollywood is this is how they have to sell their stuff now.
Okay.
Right. Like this is they have to kowtow to every, you know, different player out there. So if it's China, they got to market to China. If it's Russia, they got to market to Russia. Right. If it's Africa, they got to do all these different things. Again, not justifying what he said, what he did.
Right, I know.
I just think I think there's other factors in play.
Because imagine if a white guy had said that about Black Panther, you know, they would have been jumping all over.
Oh yeah, they would have lost their minds, of course. But again, we are talking about Hollywood. This is the hypocrisy of Hollywood.
It is.
Because even though his name is Black Panther, I don't think it's about being black.
I know, but you remember they released it. Yeah, I got you. I'm just too pissed off about it. Hold on.
No, all right. I get just in response real quick. I just want to say, like, I get where you're coming from, Verbal, and I would give him some leeway, but I guess behind the scenes, and this is what we were told earlier today by Script Doctor, he had heard that there was going to be something coming down, like this snafu happened, and Mackie was going to have to. No, they knew about it, and they knew it was going to happen. Like this was going to get out. And then it hit the news cycle finally this week. Like this happened. The funny thing is he did this like 2-3 weeks ago in Italy is where he said this. Cause that's what you're talking about, Verbal. So like this was a little while back, but they knew it was going to hit. And when it did, they knew he was going to have to address it.
Right.
So, and the way he addressed it though, that's my issue is like, who told him to say this?
Just say, I love Captain America. Why don't, you know what? How about we try the truth? I wanted to sell the film to Europe. I think half of Europe hates everybody. I love Captain America, and I was too afraid to say that. Everybody would buy that.
Or he could have just see, and this is why I keep saying over and over, man, these people need media training, right? They need a classroom or something where they could just sit down and learn how to do media talk, because this is how you avoid dumbass situations like this.
But where are their handlers? It used to be in the old days, by what I understood and all the researching, because I'm a big movie fan, that the actors would have a person when they were doing a red carpet premiere, they were doing a press junket, who would give them all the talking points. They tell them, don't veer from this. There's what's approved to say, and that's it. Where is that individual?
I think those people are becoming more rare in Hollywood.
You know what I'm talking about? Like they would say, it's like, how many times have we seen actors or actresses who just flub it? And you could tell they don't know any. During the Acolyte, who was the guy who was a quote unquote Jedi who would say his like favorite moment was when Anakin blew up the Death Star? You remember that?
Yeah.
It's like, where's the person giving him notes? Here's what everything is
That was
about.
the guy they were calling Shieldmonger.
Yeah. It's just horrible. Garfield's Bizarre Adventure for $5. The only people that are saying that young boys can't save the princess are Mackie's friends in Hollywood. They want the princess to save herself. I like Garfield's Adventure. Thank you for that. Shark Dentures for $5. If Mackie had said Cap doesn't represent the American government, but instead American people and ideals, I'd give him the benefit of the doubt. I get it. Yeah, I would agree with that.
And that's what I was
would
getting
have been a
at
much
too.
better answer.
Like, I think he was trying to say, like what Verbal was getting at is I think he was trying to say along the lines of, look, I think what the best of America are these values, and then name off the things that he just said, or the best, people in America have these values. Like, that was the thing, the way he put it. And this is what Andre kept saying, and he's right. He put them in contrast too with the way he said it. Now, he may not have meant to do it that way, but then the doubling down of the stupid in his non-apology is my problem, because he had every opportunity there to clarify and simply say, look, I feel like America holds all these values, but that doesn't mean that they're exclusive to America. That's all he had to say.
That's it.
Right?
Very simple.
And that kind of ties it all up into a nice bow. It's like, yeah, I fucked up and didn't say it the way I meant to say it. Right? Like, but that's not what he did here. He's like ducking and diving and going, oh, I love America and I love the troops. Okay, but that doesn't even address what you fucking said.
Like, just be honest. It's the easiest thing. Just be honest. Nobody loves honesty more than Americans. Like, how many times do we forgive people for fucking, big fuck ups when they say, I fucked up, forgive me. And that's it.
You know what it is too? I if we're really going to kind of put a pin in it, I think if this were to happen, like, I don't know, 7 years ago, like, no one would make a big deal out of it. I think at this point now, though, I think we're also tired of it, that we have no grace anymore. Like, our grace has been spent. So when you mess up this big on something like this, you just got to ride it out, because people are not as forgiving as they used to be, and honestly, rightfully so. We've been screwed over way too many times. So he put his foot in his mouth. He messed up. We'll see what happens with his career after.
I want to ask one question, hypothetical. Is it possible that this could have been a way to help market the movie? That misery marketing technique. Drinkers talked about it before. Others have talked about it, where they kind of like throw something out there just to stir up the shit to get everybody talking about it.
It's not going to help them. It's not going to even. There's nothing they could do to help this film.
Okay.
The people who are going to watch it are going to watch it. Everyone else is checked out.
You remember on Sunday, Tyrone was saying he's the first person who actually said that I've heard who thought it could break even. And I was like, wow.
Well, I get what he's saying. Like, you can't ever fully count out an MCU film just because of nostalgia, right? Everyone loved the phase 1 through 3, and there's still a lot of love there, right? I even posted a clip on Twitter, on X, a couple of days ago about one of my favorite scenes in Endgame, right, or Infinity War, just because I miss those days. I miss the good old MCU days, man, when we got just good stuff like back to back to back. So I get what Tyrone is saying. There might be some residue, right? There might be people who will still come and watch it and support it. I'm not as optimistic. I think this movie's going to bomb.
I agree with you. Thank you, Shark Dentures, for that. I think we all agree.
But also, I'm sorry, really quick. Also, it's probably it's going to bomb more than anything because of the fact that it costs so much to make. Right? It costs so damn much to make that, like, dude, $400 million. They're not going to make that back.
Well, and there's another problem here now, because you're right, Verbal. This movie was already doomed because most of the fans have turned away from these. They've learned in the last few movies that most of these movies now are not sequels to the movies they thought they were going into, but they're actually sequels to these Disney Plus shows that they didn't watch. So that's another turnoff.
Yeah.
And then the thing with this is this specific thing, I guess, and I've been told this by a few people now, has hit the mainstream, right? Like that means all the people outside of our verse, like the entertainment verse bubble, like their parents have heard about it and their friends have heard about it, and they're asking them because they're the entertainment guy in the office. You know what I mean? So they've been telling me that, yeah, my parents are asking me about this Anthony Mackie situation. So this is not good. Like this to me, like they can kiss that $100 million or $95 million opening week, 4-day weekend goodbye.
I agree.
I think this really, really kicked that, if any hope of that, out the door. I was already saying they'll be lucky to make half of that. Now,
100%.
at this point, that's where they're at. But that's my take on it.
100%, Tom. James, for $10, I've been to over 12 different countries throughout Europe. And I can tell you right now, 90% of the people love Americans, especially Romanians. Love Romanians. A lot of Romanian friends. Romanians and Greeks were pretty close. Anyone who pretends to not be an American is an idiot. I love you. Wait a minute. We got to get this out for you. Where are you going? I got to play this for you. Thank you. Thank you, James. Thank you for that. And then we have Mexican Iron Man, our intrepid producer, who's been missing for a while, that we missed. For $5, Captain Mackie is Captain BLM Antifa, or at least he wants to be. Yep, pretty much, but not Mackie. I see, that's why I was confused, but we've talked this to death. I've never seen Mackie do this before. He was always very straight-laced, very based, very...
Oh, he was always very based to me, man. Like I still remember that interview he did with Wendy Williams, right? I think Alan and Chris did it yesterday, you know, where he was talking about, hey, you know, when you're dating, you know, and your man asks you to make him a sandwich, you make him a sandwich, right? Like he's pretty based in a lot of the things he talks about. So like for me, and who knows, maybe this is Disney's pressure for him to say something stupid like that, because
it's odd.
You know they micromanage everything there. So
except for Rachel Ziegler.
Well, they can't control her, man.
But did you see there was an article before we jumped to Trump for a second? There was an article that was talking about the fact that Disney is now weighing up the Ray movie and how they're going to approach it based on the outcome of Snow White and a lot of their other properties.
You know what's funny? I've actually done a full like 180 on Rachel Zegler. Like I'm almost like cheering her on now, because I feel like, well, I feel like she's the Joker in all of this.
Oh, like a wrecking ball? Like she's like torching it?
She's full anarchy, dude. And I kind of like want to see what she does next. Like I want to see what studio she ruins next. Like it's almost kind of fascinating, actually.
And since we're talking about Captain America, here is what I believe is a real Captain America. The return is beautiful today.
We identified and stopped $50 million being sent to Gaza to buy condoms for Hamas. 50 million.
Can you believe that?
What's happened to them?
He's talking here about how yeah. Whoa. It gets better. He was talking here about all the expenditures that he stopped today that the Dems have allocated. Listen to a few examples.
They've used being sent to Gaza to buy condoms for Hamas, 50 million. And you know what's happened to them? They've used them as a method of making bombs. How about that? We stopped an attempt to make an illicit payment for illegal alien resettlement. We canceled $181 million in DEI training contracts. This is just for the training of people in DEI, which has been terminated and completely terminated. And we paused $1.7 billion in unauthorized payments to foreign organizations, including stopping more than $40 million that was on its way out the door to the very corrupt World Health Organization, which has not done its job and not done it properly.
By the way, Kenya, in case y'all didn't know, is now looking to depart the World Health Organization. They're looking to follow Trump's lead.
I want, if there's any of our mathematicians out there listening, I would love to hear. And I'm not saying that they should allocate the money for this. I'm just curious, just out of curiosity, how much money he just added up there in comparison to how many houses could be rebuilt in California with that amount of money. I'm not saying we should use it for that, but you know what I mean for a comparison?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I would love to see one of our mathematicians out there in the chat do that real quick, because all that money he just rambled off there compared to how much it would cost to rebuild, say, 10, 12, 13 homes, 14 homes, 15 homes, 20 homes, more than that.
Absolutely.
We also
Yeah, they're like, clap. I just saved you money. We were spending condoms.
we also blocked $45 million for diversity scholarships in Burma. 45. That's a lot of money for diversity
In
scholarships.
Burma?
In Burma, these are the programs that he could instantly cut. 50 million.
What the fuck are we giving shit for
Yes, I
scholarships in
know.
Burma for?
I know.
In Burma. You can imagine where that money went. These were the types of payments and many others. I could stand here all day and tell you things that we found. And we have to find them quickly because we want the money to flow to proper places.
It's insane. So are you happy so far? I'm thrilled. Are you happy so far, Dante, with the last week, how Trump is doing?
Oh, I'm ecstatic, man. I saw recently a couple of days ago. In fact, I just posted it that he signed the order for making it illegal to try to transition children or teenagers under 19 years old. I'm like, you know what? I'm all for this.
Yep.
This is what I voted for.
Exactly. If you're an adult, do whatever the hell you want. Kids, off guards.
If you're a grown ass man or woman, do whatever you want. If you want to bang people in teddy bear costumes and all that weird shit, do whatever you want to do.
You had to send me that image. I will say one.
Whatever you want to do. If you're a grown ass man or woman, do what you want to do and bang who you want to bang and eat what you want to eat and drink whatever. But leave the kids alone. And that, I don't know how that message got so controversial. I really
because they dug in their high heels and they were like, this is the ground we're gonna die on, this is the ground we're gonna fight, and they're still doing it. The lawsuits are just beginning. They're like, you can't, the articles. Mother Nature, was it Mother Nature? No, Mother Jones was the first one to come out 24 hours after he signed that, and they were like, Trump will not erase trans people. We're here. It's like, he's not erasing anybody. Nobody. He's saying, this is for America. Leave the kids alone. We believe in reality. You don't have to, if you're an adult, to believe in it. That's your business.
Yeah, there's already people misrepresenting this shit, lying, creating fake images and other things. And we got the figure, I believe, from, I think it was Aaron who gave it to me.
Okay.
Thank you for that. $1.93 billion is how much he just saved right there.
1.3.
In California, that'd build about 2 houses.
No, I love the fact that Trump just came in wrecking shop, man. He just came in, and I love the fact that he's doing it at such a fast pace that they don't know what to focus on first. like it's like whiplash for them. Like they have no idea. Yeah. And you know what? Good.
I think it's purposeful. I think he's doing it purposefully like that.
Yeah.
You could tell.
He's log jamming them, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
You could tell. Here is, I think this is the president of Kenya. He had a few words to say.
People the other day crying, oh, I don't know, Trump has removed money. He said he's not giving us any more money. What you wanna lia? Why are you crying? It's not your government, it's not your country.
What he's talking about here is that there are foreign countries who are crying that Trump is cutting off their money. And he's like, what are you crying for? It's like, it's not your money, because they were going to get the money. And Trump's like, nope, no more. Blitzen, how you doing, Blitzen, with a beautiful soul, gifted 10. George, the Giant Slayer membership. Thank you, everybody. Please go thank Blitzen. Bless you, Blitzen. This is awesome of you. I think Trump is kicking ass and taking names in a beautiful way.
And you know what? Honestly, I think I think most people have gotten to the point where, like, at least where I am right now, where look, I feel like as a human being, I have a big heart and I care about most people and I want people to do well. And, we should all be like thriving, especially in a country like this. But I'm also at the point too, where I'm like, look, here's the thing. As much as I care about everybody or want to care, I will only care about Americans first. I respect you. I respect you. I respect the country that you're from. I respect all of that. But at the end of the day, I don't give a damn about your country. I just don't. I don't give a damn what your government does. I give a damn where our money goes, where our resources go, right? Giving $50 million away to Gaza for condoms. Yeah, like they actually use condoms anyway over there, right?
You know what they do,
but they use them for explosions, explosives, exactly.
As a matter of fact, there is. Do you know that they actually, and I don't know how it works, but when I research out about the condoms, they put some type of what's it called? Not a drone.
Combustible?
It's something where they
Oh, not a drone. Okay.
it's some type of miniature
Not
drone.
a-
Hold on. It's the Phobos. You're there.
Oh, nitrogen?
They use it literally. We're making fun of it, but they use the condoms for bombs. They have used them multiple times.
Yeah. And this is what I'm saying. How much of this stuff are we learning about all this excess spending coming from them in the last 4 years has been basically funneled into feeding these war machines, right? Like that clip we watched the other day where that one guy, the head of the Speaker of the House or whatever, where he couldn't even get a meeting. Hydrogen, is that what you're thinking of?
No, I'll find it.
Okay. But yeah, the Speaker of the House who couldn't even get a meeting with Biden, and when he finally did, he's like, why did you cut off the natural gas from whatever country it was? Because now they got to go to Russia, basically just funding their war machine. And he's like, what do you mean? I didn't cut it off. Oh, that was for research. And it's like, no, you cut it off. Here's the executive order. I can go get the executive order right now. It's like all this stuff they were doing was so underhanded. And we learned that they had this little group, and it wasn't even Biden making the decisions. It was Kamala and whoever else was in the room at the time that she had there with her that were those top brass people. And yeah, this whole thing is like been a big bunch of shenanigans and scam. And I think the left should care a little bit more. That's what's bothering me is like, you're blatant. We have the proof right here that they've done nothing but lie to you and use your money to fund these war campaigns and all this other bullshit. Where's your outrage? Right? Like at least remember, at least people on the right had at least they stood up and said, yeah, you know what? George Bush did wrong.
I agree with you.
Where are all those people right now going?
Yeah. They don't exist, Tom, because the fact that you either have the people who believe in Trump and are too terrified to come out and speak in support of him for being canceled or somehow losing their VIP pass to cocktail parties or losing a job. And you have the other half who are either believe in what the left is doing or don't believe, but they're saying the words so they can keep their status. Then you have the actual people who are righteous believers, fanatics. And there's no amount of fact that you're going to put in front of them that's going to change their mind. I mean, we've seen it in California. We talked about this with the wildfires. We talked about it for the last couple of weeks. Dante was saying how a lot of people are going to change his wake up, but he said, sadly, Dante, wasn't that correct? There are some people, doesn't matter. It's vote blue forever.
Right, because it's a cult, right? It's like I said, as long as Gavin Newsom keeps this a sanctuary state, there will always be those people who will, even after losing their home, will still vote for the man, right? Knowing that he's god awful. Yeah, there's always going to be those hanger-ons, and yes, you have a lot of people who have changed their heart, right? And then you have the phonies, right? The phonies who are woke or not woke all along, but all of a sudden, it's the Zuckerbergs, basically, people like him. That's what I'm trying to say.
Fair weather friends who are like,
fair weather believers, right?
Business is going this way, like Bezos and all them. I don't believe those changes.
Oh, I don't believe them for a minute, but you know what? They want to go where the money is. So, and you know what? Honestly, though, I'd rather deal with those people than the cultists.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We're talking about how crazy radicals can get. RFK Jr. was going through, confirmation today, and we're going to cover that in a second. But here's a clip from that just to show you the insanity of the questions that people who represent American citizens are asking. I had to slow myself down because I was about to say something I shouldn't have.
Are you supportive of these onesies?
I'm supportive of vaccines.
Are you supportive of this clothing, which is militantly anti-vaccine?
Are you hearing his question? Are you supportive of a onesie? A baby onesie. That's
why is he asking him this?
Because the onesie says unvaxxed.
Wow.
He spent time on a onesie.
I am supportive of vaccines. I will. I want good science, and I want to protect.
But you will not tell. Are you supportive of?
A onesie, literally. He was outraged. Here's the story. I'll pull it up for us. We can read a bit from it. Bernie Sanders was a little bit upset. I think the gist of what you were trying to say today is you're really pro-vaccine. You want to ask questions? You have started a group called the Children's Health Defense. You're the originator. Sanders began before drawing attention to some of the products on the group's website, which includes onesies reading unvaxxed, unafraid, and no vax, no problem. Sanders made it clear that he is positively outraged by the products and demanded Kennedy disavow the onesies. They're selling what's called onesies. These are little things, clothing for babies. One of them is unvaxxed and afraid. Next one, and they sold for 26 bucks a piece, by the way. Next one is no vax, no problem. They're coming before this committee, and you say you are pro-vaccine, and yet your organization is making money selling the child's product to parents for 26 bucks. I think what he's really pissed off about is that he's a communist, and he hates that somebody's making money. Fuck.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, to me, that is the height of Idiocracy, the movie. He's upset during a confirmation hearing about a onesie. Hey, Sass, how you doing? Yeah, we covered that in the beginning about North Carolina and the fires that broke out. I hope you're doing well. What were you going to say, Dante?
No, it's all performative.
It is. But I really do think, remember, this is the man who spent his honeymoon, Bernie Sanders, in Moscow when it was the Soviet Union. It was an avowed communist. He is an avowed communist. The man has never held a job in his life outside of working for government. I don't know what else you call that. Lazy, a bum. I mean, he's never gotten his hands dirty, hard work. He's never sweat. He's worked for the government in one form, fashion, or another. I really do believe he's pissed about the $26. But the good news is that we still have our Captain America. Well, before we get to Captain America, we still have a few new kooks to cover. Like Madonna. Oh, Madonna, how have you changed?
Has she, though?
I'm talking about her face. It's
oh,
very
well, yeah.
creepy.
Well, that, yeah. God.
She looks, I've never seen anybody fight so hard they're aging that they look worse and worse.
I've seen it. It's just disappointing.
Oh, you've seen others like that in Hollywood?
Oh, God, yeah. Are you kidding me? Like, tooth
Where
and
they
nail.
look worse? I mean, they keep looking worse and worse.
Dude, I mean, Lee's, what's her name? Priscilla Presley, like a bunch of like these women who have tried to stop the process, man, look like 10 times worse than they ever did, you know?
I don't know how plastic.
Have you seen Renee Zellweger lately?
No, but I had a clip somebody sent me over. Did something happen? I haven't looked at it yet.
You wouldn't recognize her at all.
Do you know that lady that they called the cat lady who was like a billionaire?
Yeah, there you go. Like women like this, these are people who they think for some reason that this weird look looks good, right?
Yeah, she passed away.
The look where you can't show any facial expressions and you know your lips are the size of like melons, basically.
Maybe it is literally so they can be able to suck the chrome off a trailer hitch. I don't know.
Yeah, but they can't even open their mouth wide enough to do it. I mean, it's
all I know is I've never understood the appeal of plastic surgery for the face when every example we've seen looks worse and worse. Like I can understand other aspects of it. I get it. But face, I've never seen one done well.
Well, it's like anything, man. It's like whenever you go to an extreme, it's always going to turn out like shit, right? Yeah. I've seen a little nip and tuck here and there where it looks fine because they only did a little tiny thing, right? I've seen women who have gotten, believe it or not, very reasonable boob jobs, right? Where they've only gone up like maybe a cup, right?
Not a K or double K.
Just reasonable. You know what I mean? Nothing crazy. But then you have the ones, you know, who go nuts, man. And the ones who go nuts, those never look good.
Not at all. Well, this is what Madonna, because she's upset about Trump. It's so sad to watch our new government slowly dismantling all the freedoms we have been fighting for. What freedoms are we losing? I wish someone would point out one.
Because there isn't.
Yeah.
Unless she means, you know, the fact that we lost 80 different genders, I guess, but.
And one over the years. I'd like to know what freedoms we're losing. Don't give up the fight. And this is her. She actually looks better here than she's looked in a while, but I think that's because of the wig.
That might be AI, man. I mean, shit.
You think so?
Because who knows? I mean, this looks like it took a lot of time to get this one picture.
Do you know that I went to a Madonna concert when I was a kid? I mean, it was the what was 93's tour, whatever her tour. The one where she did Vogue.
Oh, that was way back.
Yeah. I said a long time ago. Anyway, and then I also have the clip from Renee Zellweger.
Go back when she was good, anyway.
Back when she was good. It's very sad to watch a lot of these people, just the way they vanish into a. Oh my God, you were right. Unbelievable. I didn't think Renee Zellweger was
I'm telling
always
you, man,
sweet.
like a lot of these chicks are unrecognizable.
She was always so sweet and kind looking.
I mean, I think that it's nothing new, but that maybe the social taboos are melting away. It's never a bad thing.
What the hell
There's
happened to
certain
her?
things
Is
that
that
you probably don't need
surgery?
to have opinions about. And
Oh, yeah.
when people find love, it's like,
Like, it doesn't even look like
why
her.
would that ever be a problem?
Is she hot or is that a fan or am I?
She is like fucked up on something.
No, look at
And-
what
Yeah.
she's holding in her hand. Is that a fan?
Yeah, it's one of those
just-
little fans. I
Oh,
think.
okay, because it's weird. I'm like, what the hell is she doing? Wow.
That or that's her vibrator and she forgot to put it away. I don't know.
I mean, look, man, the moral of the story is there's a lot of money in plastic surgery. So if you guys, you young cats out there, if you're looking for something to study, do that. A lot of money in it.
Okay, for $5, Man of War 665 Neighbor of the Beast sent me a picture of him in a Hello Kitty onesie with feet. No one should see that. Air hood was cringy. Eric gave her another $2. Madonna lives in the UK. She must mean them. Oh, probably so. Because the UK, they've been complaining the last few days. People have been murdered. And you have the premier coming out and others saying we must track down, we must apply new laws. This individual bought a knife, a kitchen knife from Amazon. What about the murderer? That's not the problem. It's somebody bought a kitchen knife from Amazon. The priorities are completely screwed up today.
I you know, man, I look forward to the day when America, is no longer the laughing stock of the world. You know what I mean? Like, I know Europe is a close second right now, or shit, they might even be tied for first. But I just look forward to the day when, like, we can get back to just being like,
sane,
feared and respected.
Feared and respected is good. That's what America first is for. But that's why every country should do that. UK first, France first, Italy first. You put your people first, and then everybody can work together.
Yeah, like I'm sick of hearing about all this refugee shit. It's like since when? Like, why do we have to take the world's rejects?
You know why? It's because the Uniparty found out years ago one of the ways that they could help make their deals and help bring in cheap labor, which is basically a form of abusing people. It's a modern day form of wage slavery, is to import the world's poverty to the US. They're like, screw our own citizens who are here. We don't have to worry about them.
But you know what, though? That also applies to, the stuff that, Elon and Vivek are proposing with these HB1 stuff, man. That is slave labor just as much as anybody crossing the border illegally, to be honest
100%.
with you.
No, 100%. That's why I was like, when Elon brought that up, you saw he shut up about it, though.
Yeah, because we're like, hell no.
Yeah, but he learned quickly. He adapted. Vivek, though, that one phrase, I felt bad for him, but I will say this up front. I've always loved Vivek's communication style, but from my first time that we talked about him on Base F Monday with Adam Quigley, I was like, I don't like the guy. I don't like his history with Soros. I don't
either. I've never trusted
You
Vivek.
shake hands with the devil and you make money with him, that's with you. I don't care. It's just done. But when he said American culture is to blame, I know he walked it back, but it's the thought process. The first thing that popped out of it is it's American culture is to blame. They don't want to take these jobs. That's bullshit. People have trained for these jobs. They've gone to school for those jobs. How many people did Disney fire 6 years ago?
But see, that's why I just don't like the idea of parties anymore, man. I think people need to really be keeping both of these situations accountable for, man, because it's once you get caught up in the cults, it's hard to look objectively at the people who you voted for, man. I'm looking at everybody with a suspicious eye.
But you should, because they're politicians. I mean, again,
even Trump. I'm looking at.
But you should hold everybody to account. I love Trump. Still, there are things he does I don't always like, or I don't understand, or I question it, because it's our responsibility. If nothing else, if you respect the man, you will question him to keep him being the best he can be. It's not to put him down. It's not to attack him. It's to go, Mr. President, you're a human being. You have people around you, so many people in his ear. You want to make sure he's always him. I always find that Trump's first instinct, his first reaction, is always the best one.
Yeah.
It's usually when he comes back, at least in the first term, it would throw me and be like, you did the right thing there. And then you'd see a few days later, he's like, well, and I talked to my son-in-law, and I'm like, no. So this Trump, though, is different. I think he learned everything he needed to learn, and he's back with a vengeance. This afternoon, I mean, I cannot recall the last time in the 4 years where a president of the United States gave a press conference and actually answered questions which weren't written down on a piece of paper. It's like, oh, you from MSNBC, you wanted to ask me about what I... Okay, yeah, no. He just opened it up to everybody.
Today, I'm also signing an executive order to instruct the Departments of Defense and Homeland Security to begin preparing the 30,000-person migrant facility at Guantanamo Bay. Most people don't even know about it.
Yep.
We have 30,000 beds in Guantanamo to detain the worst criminal illegal aliens threatening the American people. Some of them are so bad we don't even trust the countries to hold them because we don't want them coming back. So we're going to send them out to Guantanamo. This will double our capacity immediately, right? And tough. That's a tough place to get out of. Today's signings bring us one step closer to eradicating the scourge of migrant crime in our communities once and for all. And it was just it's just an unforced error that we even have to be doing this. Now we need Congress to provide full funding for the complete and total restoration of our sovereign borders, as well as financial support to remove record numbers of illegal aliens.
And did you hear about that? What happened at the border the other day where the cartel was actually shooting at Border Patrol? Tom Homan was talking about it.
I heard about it, but I hadn't seen much about, like, I haven't read into it, but and it sounds like shit keeps escalating. We might even get into a little bit of a scuffle with the cartel. I don't know what that exactly would look like, but.
Well, Homan has talked about it that, now that they're bringing in the military, where did I have it? They're bringing in the military, things are going to start, heating up. It's going to be interesting because Trump is labeling the cartels as terrorists. So he's like, Homan was like, we're going to wipe them out the same way we did Al Qaeda. He goes, nobody's ever done this before. He goes, I don't understand.
Sense, yeah.
But think about it. But no. You brought up a good point. Think you were like, that makes sense. It does. For 50 years, we've had this drug war almost, but no president, Democrat or Republican, has ever said, hey, why don't we label them terrorists and go wipe them the hell out? Seems simple enough. When you agree, chat, you label them as terrorists, you send in the military, you send in special forces, and you wipe out the enemy. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
I mean, most of the people that would have been alive to or part of the whole thing that allowed them to go on for so long are probably no longer in power anyway, so I don't see why this should be a problem.
Yeah.
And if they are, well, then you need to weed them out and get them out of there because, I'll call out the elephant in the room. We know the reason why they've gotten so big and have been able to do what they've been doing so long is because they've gotten a lot of passes from certain government agencies and other things like that. All you got to do is watch Narcos to learn that shit, right? And a million other movies like Sicario and other things like that to just kind of get an idea of how these things have been allowed to go on for so long. And a lot of these guys have gained so much power, right? It's pretty obvious. It's because they've worked with the right people and they've washed the right hands and other people have looked the other way and allowed things to get through.
But for
far too long. Exactly. Like and I agree. And that's my whole point is now we're so far removed from a lot of that shit. And Trump is the guy to come in and say enough's enough.
Yep. It's just enough. And I like that though. Was it Mary Mack who just said that? And both her and the SOBS. Yes, it is an actual war now, not a joke, not a bumper sticker, not a slogan they can slap on and go, hey, another politician is going to run. We're going for the war on drugs. No, he's actually going to take the war to them. Mark of reality for $5. Didn't Donald J. Trump say he was sending 88,000 overarmed IRS agents to guard the border? I know he said he was going to be getting rid of them or not hiring them. I've heard two different stories, but that would be great. I like the way you put things, Mark of reality. Everything okay over there, Dante?
Yeah. I just had to take a call, but
no, of course, anytime. Just making sure. I thought you were having camera issues because my camera's starting up. I was like, hey.
No, so far mine's is holding. So
holding action. Well, this just came out. It says that the president signed the Lincoln. I can never say it. Lincoln Riley Act. The Lincoln Riley Act. Wow.
Thank you, President Trump, for signing the Lincoln
Beautiful.
Act today. It is a fantastic tool that we'll be able to use to make sure that we get violent criminals off our streets, that they will be detained when they commit those crimes of violence, and that our families who have lost someone, like Lakin and so many others that were here today, that their children will always be remembered, and that this tragedy doesn't have to be perpetuated in the future. So thank you for your leadership, and the Department of Homeland Security will continue to make sure that we're implementing it to keep America safe again.
It's about time. Biden wouldn't touch it, didn't want to go near it. And then you had Selena Gomez crying about it. Do you have that video? It seems like I had it and then it disappeared.
Let me see if I do have it or not. I don't know if I downloaded that one.
I mean, I'm sure it's circulating around. I know she took it down from her Instagram, but
I should have it on my main Twitter here. Hang on.
yeah, that was the worst performance art I've seen in a long time.
That's the best art for performance I've ever seen out of her. It's still horrible. You're not wrong, but
yeah, it's just.
I mean, she did not really need to apologize that hardcore for Amelia Perez. I think we all get it. I mean,
wow. Yeah, here it is. Got it. That was a good one.
Little late.
Just wanted to say that
I'm so
sorry.
I've seen this so many times.
So many people are getting attacked. The children. They don't understand. I'm so sorry. I wish I could do something, but I can't. I don't know.
Well, yeah, you can, because you have like billions of dollars.
But it's phony. It's fake. I don't believe a word of it because she's got to set up her camera. She's got to like edit it. She's got to post it up. I don't buy this. And she's an adult pretender.
No, this is not genuine at all.
Yeah,
because I love like the. Sorry, I didn't mean to loop it around.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, like because there was that one guy or girl, I can't remember. I think it was a girl actually. Now that I think about it, who actually did that. She actually showed all the trouble you'd have to go through to set all that shit up to do one of these things, and went through all the motions. It's like, yeah, you're not in that emotional state by the time you set up your fucking camera.
No,
I mean, I can't.
But also,
think of
that's
one time
assuming
where I
she
have
set up her
been.
camera. She probably had someone set it up for her.
Good point.
So she could give this performance.
But why didn't she cry about Lakin Riley? Why didn't she cry about all the children, all the brothers, all the sisters, all the mothers, all the fathers who've been killed by illegals? Where are the tears? Where are the tears for them?
Why hasn't she been crying about, the children who've been sex trafficked by cartel members? Well, why isn't she crying about that?
Yes, that's exactly. It's like when Sound of Freedom came out, I never saw so much backlash from Hollywood for a film that was about raising awareness about children being trafficked and kidnapped. Because I've shared it before. I was kidnapped at the age of 7, beaten, chained up every day for about 6 to 7 months, almost a full year before my family rescued me. Every day, I stood up to my kidnapper, 7 years old and all. When I saw Sound of Freedom, it moved me to my core. And I'm like, okay, here we have a film that should be a unifying force, but one network after the other, one producer after the other are like, this is bullshit. This is crap. This is red meat to throw to the right. It doesn't matter. Look who's making it. Then they started focusing on, was James Caviezel some kind of, what do they call him? One of those conspiracy people, the
conspiracy theorist or whatever.
Not a conspiracy. They're that one group. QAnon. Oh, he's QAnon. Oh, Angel Studios is this. Oh, that. Did you see the producer? I'm like,
that was
what
the
about
biggest
the
bunch of
message?
horse shit. Yeah.
I'm like, what about the message? Save the kids. There are more children in slavery today who are sold in open markets around the world than there were at the height of the Roman Empire. Let that sink in for a minute. Open air market slave markets now in 2025. Yet they cry about deportation. I know kids have been deported. You're talking so far, it's been criminals and the people who hang around them, because Tom Holman and Trump had let it be known, if the cities aren't going to help us, meaning we can go pick up the people, the criminals in jail, Well, that means we're going to have to track them down to where they live. And whoever's with them when they live, we're going to grab them too, if they're illegal. RFK for $5. Maybe Selena is part of the cartels. Oh, never thought of that one. Making billions from human trafficking. She does not want her money flow to stop. Oh.
And the most comical thing about all of this for me is, you know, they're sitting here crying and doing all these different things. Not just her. I'm talking about just a lot of these people online. And we make this big deal out of this, right? Out of people being deported, when literally every country deports people out of their country.
They used to. They used
you know
to.
what I mean? Like every country deports people out of their country who shouldn't be there.
Yeah, you see,
but for some reason, we're expected to take all their rejects.
I mean, you saw Savannah Hernandez in that piece we covered 3 months ago. She was showing everybody. No, it was right before the election. Yeah. She was showing those homes in Maine that they were giving to illegals.
Yeah.
They were getting $3,000 a month. All their bills paid, 65-inch television.
Oh, dude, that gravy train is over for them.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Mark a reality for $2. You should have Leanne Starr on sometime. That'd be great. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, Leanne's good too. She's
you see if I can reach her. That would be awesome. Thank you, Mark. Always great ideas. Love it. Now we have we can check out some of RFK's the heat that he brought to the confirmation. I thought he handled it pretty much great, everything that I saw. Hold on, here we go.
Need to do a lot more on. Will you commit not to fire anyone in the health arena who currently works on protecting Americans from cyber attacks in their healthcare files?
I will commit to not firing anybody who's doing their job.
Based on your opinion?
Of course it's going to be his job. See, look at this. It's like Tom, it's like they want to protect all their buddies. They're like, you're not going to fire anybody, right? Nobody, not one person. It's like, no, fire everyone's not doing their job. It's unbelievable how
But what you realize when he says this, he only means anyone related to Fauci.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're talking about here.
Yeah, because that's what exactly, because they're gonna go. I don't even know if we can say the testing that Fauci did is one of the things that Kennedy wants to go after.
Based upon your opinion or your political agenda or Mr. Trump's political agenda?
Based upon my...
Excuse me. President Trump, you piece of shit, Mark Warner, won a mandate. He was elected by the American people from both Democrats, Republicans, Independents in the middle to execute his agenda, not yours, not the bureaucrats, not the swamps. So yes, he should follow his agenda. Why is that so hard to believe? When Biden got in, they're like, we have an agenda. You didn't sit there watching them grill people during their confirmations. Are you going to be following the Biden agenda? Well, yeah. He's hiring me to push what he believes in.
Right.
It just stuns me.
My opinion.
I guess that means a lot of the folks who've had any type of views on vaccines will be out of work. We need to do a lot more.
I can't stand Mark Warner.
Hopefully.
I can't stand Mark Warner. Oh, okay. Let's see this. This is, I think, one of his family members.
Yeah, that's his cousin.
But now that Bobby has been nominated by President Trump to be Secretary of Health and Human Services, a position that would put him in charge of the health of the American people, I feel an obligation to speak out. Overseeing the FDA, the NIH, the CDC, and Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, agencies that are charged with protecting the most vulnerable among us, is an enormous responsibility and one that Bobby is unqualified to fill.
They just won't stop, will they? They've been doing this since the election. They don't stop. They're supposed to be family, correct? Blood. Bone, marrow, meat, same thing from the same place. All going back to the same womb at some point. Yeah, Trinoculus, Fauci is Mengele. What do you think of her? Do you just think they just despise him or jealous of him?
Well, I mean, she's not the only one. I mean, there's also a video of his grandson making fun of him, making fun of his condition and the way he speaks and everything.
His disability, you mean? That's a medical disability.
Yeah,
What
his
the hell?
grandson made a
Wow.
TikTok video about it, joking, mocking him, making fun of him, and I'm just like,
wow,
man, you
that's
guys are scumbags.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
we all know
low.
that the Kennedys were a messed up family, but
I know, but to come out against him that way, you'd think they'd, what was it? You don't air your family dirty laundry in public. That's something you call them up, you talk to, you deal with, but they just keep coming back and coming back and come back.
Well,
And
when
here
your family is a bunch of assholes, I mean, what can you do?
And then we got Pocahontas poking around.
More profitable. In fact, he may have the opportunity to bankrupt the vaccine manufacturers, and then nobody gets vaccine.
Uh-oh.
They're all terrified what's going to happen, that he wants to go after Big Pharma. Have you seen?
But also, which vaccine? Notice she didn't get real specific about that.
Right, but it's like Big Pharma called everybody that they're on the payroll. Okay, everybody get down there. You got to make sure he doesn't get in. Can they be any more obvious? You have Mike Pence, who Charlie Kirk has been reporting, has been campaigning behind the scenes to make sure that he tries to remove every Republican vote away. You got Lady Lindsey Graham, who's been going on television stations and doing network interviews saying, well, I really don't like Robert Kennedy. And he's using the excuse he's not pro-life. Can't have a pro-choice person. You turn around and Kennedy has said for the last month, look, I may be pro-choice. This is a pro-life administration. I will promote pro-life views. I will speak on my own. I mean, like he's showing, because he goes, what is the number one thing to get America healthy again? He goes, if we can get America healthy again, he goes, we can do amazing things. Pence is a traitor to the bone, Janie D. Absolutely. No Zempic. How many of these people are taking money? How many are they, Jansen? Anyway, we'll get back to that in a second. There's that new rumor that's on the internet, Verbal, Tom, about Shia LaBeouf, that he's going to be in the next Transformers movie. He's coming back.
Wow, he must be really broke.
I don't know about that, or it's more like, is Hollywood that desperate? I would say more like Verbal, because like last time I checked, he was kind of blacklisted.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, actually, he was for a while, actually.
That's what I thought. It's just, but it was kind of funny.
But you know what, though? I think like with a lot of these people, they serve their time and then they come back. I keep hearing whispers of Kevin Spacey making his big comeback. So
I didn't know he was out. Oh, Kevin Spacey, not Kevin Bacon. My mind flipped.
Kevin Spacey, yeah.
Yeah, because you had Anthony Hopkins who gave an interview and he said it's long enough. Like he needs to be.
Yeah, he did his time in jail and celebrity jail, and they'll probably get to come back. And
the way you said that, celebrity jail, like, wow.
Yeah, because you do something, I guess, egregious enough, you kind of have to disappear for a little while. So,
mark of reality, $5. Hold on. Fauci can still be charged, tried, and convicted by the states if he's broken their laws. No, the supremacy clause won't stop it. Bless you, mark of reality. Thank you for that. I have a question. I was reading the other day, and it stated that you don't have to accept a pardon. And I was listening to a couple of attorneys online. They were saying you actually, because the Biden gave out the pardons, doesn't mean you have to accept them. But if they did accept them, that they could be called, they would almost have, could be compelled to testify. In any case, that
by taking it as like an admission of guilt too, right?
Right. So I'm wondering, did he accept it?
Oh, I'm sure he did. Fauci, yeah.
And now you have
I'm sure his crimes. He is licking that thing every day.
Yeah, and then Lindsey Graham came out the other night again, and who was he going to bat for? John Bolton. John Bolton. He was asked if he thought it was correct that President Trump remove his security detail, his security clearance, and he was like, "Look, it doesn't matter if you like the man or dislike the man. If we have the United States government appoint or hire somebody and they go out into the world and on behalf of the United States and they make enemies and those enemies continue to follow them or harass them, it is our responsibility to protect them." He says, I think it should go to Senate Intelligence, and they should be able to look at the reasons Trump did this. I hope President Trump somehow gets Lindsey primaried, but every time I turn around, I see him and Lindsey shaking hands. I'm like, this guy is a Brutus. He stabs President Trump in the back week in and week out. He smiles, and then he goes, no, I disagree with him here. He smiles, and he goes, I think he did wrong here. He smiles, and he goes, well, you know, he just took John Bolton's security detail away from him, and Iran still wants him. Now I got to drink. Sorry.
Drink.
Man, I know. It's just I'm fired up today because I cannot stand traitors. If you're going to be the man's enemy, stand up, say, I can't stand you. Have the balls to go, I don't like what you stand for. I don't believe you. And I'm going to fight you. I can respect that. I don't.
But you're
have
talking
to
about politicians, man. They're cowards.
I know, but it bothers me seeing Lindsey Graham around Trump. You know?
Yeah, I agree. I think it was a mistake the first time Trump, you know, had him in his pocket, you know, but
100%. It just irritates the hell out of me. Jake Gyllenhaal to star in new original film from M. Night Shyamalan and Nicholas Sparks. The author? Is that the author, Nicholas Sparks?
Could be.
I didn't even know Shyamalan.
I don't understand why this is actually news though, because M. Night is not exactly
I thought he was over.
The most hit director out there. I mean, he's hit or miss, but he's more miss than hit. So,
but I thought Jake Gyllenhaal, I thought he was done after Roadhouse.
Well, he should have been, but no, he's still.
Oh my God.
He still has parts, man, that he's getting offered. So,
and he's a good actor. That's why I was stunned. Can you believe what Deadline is saying? For Gyllenhaal, this follows a stellar year that started with his hit reinvention of the classic action hit Roadhouse.
That's crazy.
The film was a massive hit for the studio, breaking streaming records with a sequel already in development. Okay, I'm living in the Twilight Zone. If
Last
that
I heard,
was
that
the
sequel
hit.
wasn't happening, at least not with the original director anyway.
Wow.
That movie was shit.
No, Jake, but Jake is a great actor. Darth Vader, he is.
Oh,
he had a bad script and a bad show.
Oh yeah, Nightcrawler is one of my favorite movies of his, man. I
beautiful.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal actor. He just chose a bad part.
Yeah, you know what? I could have seen a remake of Roadhouse, but when you read that script, I'd have been like, yeah, nope, not happening. No work here.
Well, they probably figured, you know, hey, they have Jake Gyllenhaal, they got, you know, Conor McGregor to do his first, you know, live action.
Did you see it? Did you see McGregor in that?
Yeah, I saw the movie. It was bad.
Oh, what was this? He kept doing this.
It was
like
one of the worst movies ever. Like
it was like a slight exaggeration of his real self.
I know,
it was
but
like one step away from being a parody of Roadhouse. Like,
yeah.
I know, but it's like he put the cotton balls that Marlon Brando did for The Godfather. You know, I am the Don. And he almost did, you know, but his arms are always doing this.
I don't even know if he realized he was in a movie.
I don't think he did. And then we got, for our last piece of Hollywood news before we wrap up the political stuff in a second, Lady Gaga breaks silence on Joker. Folie à deux. I can't stand Lady Gaga, just so everybody knows. So, you know, I'm a bit biased here.
I like her music.
I didn't used to have so much of a problem with her until the last few years. She's gotten more on my
irritates
Joker
the shit
2
out of me.
was the worst movie of last year, if not the decade.
I just don't like her. She irritates me on some fundamental genetic level. Negative reviews, you keep going even if something didn't connect in the way you intended. I don't wish her ill. I don't wish anyone ill. Except for communists. I can't stand fucking communists. I'll just be open about that. So this is what she says about Joker Folie à deux. People just sometimes don't like some things. Gaga told Elle in an interview published Tuesday. It's that simple. And I think to be an artist, you have to be willing for people to sometimes not like it. And you keep going even if something didn't connect in the way that you intended. She adds that the fear of failure is what can be really damaging. 100% agree with that. You miss all the balls you don't take a swing at. When that makes its way into your life, that can be hard to get control of. It's part of the mayhem. So She's basically saying, you know, okay, it flopped, it failed, but I keep moving forward.
That part I can't hate her for. I mean, she's
No, I
she's
don't.
rolling with the punch. She's not
Yeah.
blaming anybody for it.
I can respect that. I can respect that. I just don't like her, but I can respect that 100%.
No, I totally respect it, man. It's like Tom just said, you know, she's not blaming the audience, you know, which is nice for once.
It is.
She's
It's
taking ownership
refreshing.
of the movie being bad.
It's refreshing.
It'd have been like if they come out with Mona Lisa 2. What the fuck did you expect?
But you know, before the film came out and during the premiere weekend, she had shared with Daily Mail, and I think it was Vanity Fair Variety, that she was looking at Joker Folie à Deux to be her film to get her an Oscar. That's what she's after, is an Oscar. She wants an Oscar because she thought that would propel her. It would be good enough to get her the part in Tarantino's last movie. That's what she wants. It's a part in Tarantino's last movie.
Well,
That's
he
her
rejects
objective.
her hypothesis.
Yeah. But that's her goal.
I heard it. I remember I read it. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what she wants. It's to be known for Tarantino's last film.
Everybody has those delusions of grandeur from time to time. Look, every video that we make, I think this might be the one, but every time I do one that's just a throwaway, sometimes those are the ones that go big. You know, you don't know these things. And at least she's got the rejection of the music industry on her side. And that's what I see in that last response to that, because she had a high expectation. It didn't work out. Now, Hollywood, the gut reaction of them is always, oh, blame the audience. They didn't understand. They were istophobic. They didn't get what we were trying to do. No. She's like, I tried something. We swung for the fucking fence. We didn't, you know, she basically was saying, one of my favorite new sayings is, you know, you shot for the moon and you hit Mars. Okay. It happens.
Yeah.
You know, like you overshot it. It didn't quite work. I will not take it away from those guys for trying, but the only person I will put in the crosshairs for this is not her, because she just was there. It's really more so the director / writer and Joaquin Phoenix for even doing this in the first place, because they could have resisted it. I don't care how much they offered you. You didn't need it.
Nope.
So like, yeah, it's not like you were like desperate for a job.
Nope, not at all. I will ask y'all one important question. What did you think of a particular woman who is suing Lyft?
Oh God.
I saw Verbal shared it. I can't share that picture on YouTube.
No. Don't share that one. But there are other pictures of her.
Oh, I don't have any if you haven't.
I'd rather not search her out, but
I didn't think you wanted to.
I forgot her name. I think it's
her name is,
she's a rapper, I guess, from what they say.
He's called Krispy Kreme.
I mean, that's the more suitable name, but I don't think that's what it is.
She's not Krispy Kreme. She's Krispy Kreme something. Anyway, what I don't get is, just so everybody, maybe they don't know about it, Krispy Kreme is suing. And you have Adrian Curry say, these people willingly ate their way out of fitting anywhere. My family of men over 6'6" tall did not eat their way into being giants with shoulders as wide as two people. They can't fit anywhere. Restaurant booths, airplane seats, airplane bathrooms, even doorways. Oops, sorry. God damn it. Come on, there we go. Airplane seats, airplane bathrooms, even doorways. Why do only morbidly obese people think they deserve special perks and grommet? And I'm a fat guy. And I am now 6 weeks, 6 weeks I've been working out. I've lost 5 pounds. It's not a crazy amount, but doing it slowly.
No, dude, but this chick it's a well of a tale, man. I'm telling you, this chick she's a solid 500.
Yeah. Plus size Krispy Kreme Detroit rapper says Lyft driver refused to let her in his car. The driver apologized, but said his tires essentially couldn't handle her weight and that she wouldn't fit inside. Her attorney says weight is a protected characteristic against discrimination in Michigan, and they're filing a lawsuit against the company. What say you, my good friends?
Well, here's the thing. I dug a little bit into this, and so when the guy was talking about his tires, the thing is, his car was already kind of one of those cars where it's pretty low to the ground anyway, because of the way he has it all souped up. You know what I mean? And so it's kind of closer to the ground. So if she would have got into that car, his whole bottom half would be scraping if he tried to drive with her in it.
So he was being honest.
Okay, but with that said, right?
Okay.
I also did the math. I said, okay, so let's say you have a car, and the car's full. So that's about
200 pounds.
let's say at best 800. Let's say 800 pounds, right?
Okay.
If you got 4 grown adults in the car, all weighing about 200 pounds each, close to it. That's about 800 pounds. So maybe he was exaggerating a bit because the driver is probably like, let's say at best 200. She's joking jokes aside, she's probably 300 bills maybe. I
Okay.
mean, she might be 300 pounds more probably. So that's 500 pounds.
Right.
Maybe he could have picked her up, maybe, but then having her fit into the car is another problem, man. And the seatbelt's not going to go around her. So he was right not to pick her up.
Do you have the video, Tom? Can you find that video real quick and we'll wrap up? The one with her with Krispy Kreme. I don't know her name.
I don't. I think he made the right call, man. And I feel like
because when you listen to him, he's not. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. He's not being crude to her, unless I saw the wrong video.
He's not being mean at all. He's just saying, "I'm sorry, I can't do it."
Yeah. What is Istafobos saying? He's saying Istafobos is saying it's about weight and balance, the distribution of the weight. It's dangerous, George Johnson.
And I get that. And you know what? Here's the thing. Maybe now there's an opportunity for a new business, right? Ride share for plus size people, right?
They told her, didn't they tell her just get the Lyft XL or something? The SUVs.
Oh yeah, or even one of those, right? I mean, they're a little bit more, but hey, you know what? The problem is when you're that big, your options are a little limited, man.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sorry, but you'll never ride a scooter. Like there's just certain things you won't be able to do in life.
Yeah, that's it. That's the reality. But the suit is what kind of took me by surprise.
Well, people sue for anything now, but I don't know how far this could actually go.
But that it got attention like that. I mean, because there are lawsuits everywhere, but that it got that much attention, especially
they got lawsuits. I mean, it got attention because she's 500 pounds.
That picture you shared on Twitter, I cannot even describe it. A friend of mine called it a grunt. Front part of her. You laugh. Okay, you know what I'm saying. I can't show the picture.
Or for those who don't know what he's talking about, so I shared a picture of her on my Twitter where she is trying to post sexy. Oh God, and she's naked, but the problem is like she has this curvature where. I can't even describe it really. Like you cannot see her vagina at all, but her belly looks like an ass. It's
great. And the thing is I am a fat person laughing at it because I've gone up and down in my life, and I would not pose for a picture like that. I don't understand. There are a lot of people who, they go, oh, it's body positivity. Oh, look, she feels great in her weight. Let me tell you something. When you're that heavy, you do not like the way you fucking look. I don't give a shit how many people say, I love myself. You're fucking delusional. You can love the inside of yourself, but you're not comfortable. One of the reasons I started working out was because I wasn't comfortable. I didn't feel the way I did before. And I was like, I want to be strong again. I want to be fit. I want to run and do whatever I want to do. I don't want to be limited by anything.
But see, that's how it used to be, man. People would be like fed up with the way they looked, and they would get some inspiration, go work out. You know what I mean? It's like pop in that Rocky 4 soundtrack and hit the gym and just pound it out, right? And now it's like everyone's been catered to so much and told that they're beautiful no matter what size they are, which is all bullshit, by the way. It
is bullshit.
I'm sorry. There's no way you could be beautiful and 500 pounds. That's literally impossible.
I don't have enough flour to roller to find the wet spot. No. That's
I don't even want to think about the physics of what she has to do.
I don't.
Like to go to the bathroom or.
I wouldn't want that for me. See,
Right.
That's the perspective I come from. This would be the same thing I would tell a family member who I love. Let me help you, but to turn around.
If we're being fair too, man, like it's just not good for her health. She will die an early death. Being that big, man, and that's what pisses me off about these past 4 years of medicine and of health in this country is that all these super huge people are being told that they're fine the way they are when we know damn well they're not.
Did you hear about the woman that Trump had let go or didn't rehire that San Francisco now hired? The quote unquote fat representative? A fat representative, but San Francisco gave her a contract.
To do what?
Because she's the one who's put videos together that says if you turn around to someone and say, "Is that a big meal?" That looks like a big sandwich, or that looks like, "Do you need that extra fry?" She says those are all discriminatory terms. Those are all prejudicial terms. Those are all in one way bigoted.
Well, okay, fine.
Fat
Quit
people.
being a fat ass, and people won't be bigoted.
Right. Yeah. It's even Lizzo is losing weight and getting healthy.
Yeah. There you go.
There you go. And that's good for her. And she shows the
And you know what?
videos.
She'll probably live a little bit longer than she would if she stayed where she was.
It was a prophecy, Estefobos. Mary Mack for £2. George, please, big up War for the Old World on YouTube. Mary Mack, I always love seeing you here. You're a legend at Slayer Nation. I love it. Will do. And then we have Eric K, King of the Mods, for $2. She is 495 pounds of lard. She will break the
Jesus Christ.
I feel bad for her because somebody convinced her and an entire generation that is okay. They said smoking is bad, weed is good, fat is even better, alcohol, everybody just kind of ignored it. But it's so many things have flip-flopped. It's just amazing. All right. I'm going to show this last clip and then we are out of here. And I want to show you what happened with, I think it's a good, fun place to end it. We covered our politics. We covered Hollywood. Trump is going strong. And this is what is considered to be modern art today. It's just hard even getting it out of my mouth to say it. Enjoy.
These are called tax write-offs. That's what this is. This is a tax write-off for the rich.
I remember growing up, I saw this special. It was the first time in the world. It was like some Saudi, a member of the Saudi royal family. He used an airplane jet, and he would take these huge canvases and put them behind, and he would throw buckets of paint, and it would just splatter it. And he's like, $1 million. That would be how much the painting was. He's like, do you see the beauty? And he'd make another one.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, well, I guess it's no worse than Hunter Biden's smoked Parmesan or poo art. Anyway, all right, thank you guys. Flying blind on a rocket cycle for $5. They're auditioning for the next Jaguar commercial. Oh, you nailed it. Beautiful, my friend. Beautiful. Okay, Verbal, what you got coming up? Where can everybody find you?
Yeah, you guys can find me on my own channel, Verbal Riot. The next thing you'll see me on, if you're tuning in, is probably yeah, I should be with Yellow Flash on Saturday.
Sweet.
And then back Sunday with George for Slayer Nation.
Yeah, we had a great time last Sunday with Tyrone.
Yeah, that was really fun. Oh, and also, of course, you can always find me on Versus, Film Darts Versus as well. So.
Hell yeah, I love that. I watch it every Monday. Hey, Adam, how you doing? Adam from the Quiggler Show is here. One of the best interviewers in our report. He can nail anybody. I mean, when he starts talking to them, he gets them to relax. He gets to the truth. He knows it. He's just beautiful. Beautiful soul, a beautiful human being. Thank you, Adam, for dropping by. And Tom, what do you got coming up?
Physical media show later on tonight, Midnight Edge After Dark tomorrow, and Mead on Friday, or Midnight Edge in the morning on Friday.
All right. Well, that's it, everybody. I hope, I think I'm going to start doing more shows. I'm going to do a couple of single ones next week. I'm working on something very special. I can't share it yet. You'll see it probably in the next couple of weeks. It's a big surprise, but we are going to have our member stream this Saturday, 3 p.m. Central. Be there. I'm working on another video. I'll probably bop in probably tomorrow, do some updates about what's going on with the Trump administration, saving America, see if that Shia LaBeouf news is actually real, but mostly about the MAGA King returning. Thank you all for showing up. I wish you all have a blessed evening, a great week. And remember, if you want to make the rules, not serve them, stand up every time you smile. And when you look in the mirror, we have one rule. We're fighters. And we never bow down. We never bend the knee. Always forward. And my outro video didn't play. You know, you got to give it the timing. It's just one of those things. It happens. But I love Night Chat.
George Show. It was the George Show. We like the George Show.
All right, I love you guys. Later. See you later, Bob the Lobster, Mary Mac, Monica Poole, Adam. Have a great day.